everybody. We are on episode 2 of our Faith, Fitness, Family podcast. Thank you so much for those of you that have commented and shared what you really liked about our first episode. And that's the goal. Every week or every episode, we want to just unpack things that we are going through as a family, as business owners, as non-for-profit organizers. We are all here to help you and each other with all of this. So today we're talking about what's holding you back. And we're going to just unpack in areas that we have kind of felt held back, and we've made steps of faith to really walk into them. And we just want to encourage all of you on this. So Jared, you want to share a little bit about what you're thinking? And
I think like one of the big takeaways that we heard from people was like that resonated in our first episode was you just have to start.
Right.
And it's not going to be perfect, and it's going to be really messy along the way, but you have to start. And so then we're thinking like, well, what's then holding people back from even starting? That was kind of the idea of this, like what's holding you back. And so let's talk like from a fitness standpoint. When people call you, reach out to you, what are some of the things that you've noticed with people, and what are like some of the simple things to help somebody take even that first step?
I think a lot of people have the fear of failure, that they've done all of these trainings and races or these fitness fads and they've failed. So I think when you're walking into something with that mindset, it's really hard to open yourself up to maybe a different thought process on your training as a runner, or I'm big into the nutrition right now, talking with some of my clients. If you look at food as not the enemy, but as fuel, it changes your mindset. So I think a lot of it is, for me, I see clients, they have that fear in their eyes of taking that step. Because then some of them choose not to, and they choose not to make that step. Yeah. Which is, as a trainer, you're like, oh, I wish I could just make you do it, but I can't make you do it. Yeah. You have to choose it, and you have to take that step and not be fearful, and be okay that it won't go as fast as you want it to.
Bingo. Yeah.
I think that too, if we talk about the fear of it and also knowing it's going to take work, that's the other thing.
Yeah. It's so good.
It's not easy. You have to put the work in.
We always say, like, if it was easy, everybody would do it. Mm-hmm. And we live in, like, this microwave society, right, where we just want to press the button and we have it overnight. Well, that's just, I mean, we're not being rude or picking on anybody.
No.
But if it took you, like, several years to get to this point, it might not take you several years to get out, but it's going to take you several months at least.
Oh, for sure.
To start seeing some of those things shift. And that's the hard part. Everybody wants it like right now.
Yes.
I want to take a pill.
Yeah.
Because my friend told me Costco has these amazing pills that if I pop them, like I'm going to lose all of this weight.
Right.
And that's not the way it works.
No.
It's really, really difficult.
Remember last week we were watching, we were with the family and we were watching a show, I forget what it was. And these commercials, almost every 5 minutes, and Grace, our son, was like, "Mommy, does that pill work?" And I'm like, "No, it doesn't."
That's right. Well, it was.
It's just a quick fix.
Yeah, it was. Again, we're not like bashing anything.
No.
It was the Slim Fast commercial.
Oh yes.
And I thought Slim Fast like went out of business, but apparently they're back. And it was on, and he goes, "Daddy, like, same kind of question." Yeah. And then, like, literally, like, 30 minutes later, it was the same commercial. Goes, "Here it goes again!"
I know.
And I'm like,
and then there was one for hair, like, you could grow your hair. And he's just like, "This is amazing." And I'm like, oh, wow. It's just starting so young, training them to be like, no. Yeah. We show up at the gym, and we learn to make healthy choices.
Yeah, consistently. Mm-hmm. But I agree. I think the fear is number one for sure. And fear manifests itself in a lot of different ways. But I think also people are held back because they're afraid of what other people are going to think of them. Like, even coming into a gym like this, and you might see like some really fit people or some people like me, I'm in the middle, right? Or see some people that are just starting their fitness journey.
Yes.
Like, well, I'm not them, so I'm not going to come. And what they don't understand is the beauty of a community like this is we don't care.
Right.
Like, we're all on a journey. We're all figuring it out. It doesn't matter if you're right where you want to be, if you're 10 pounds where you want to be, or
Right.
50 pounds where you want to be. Like, don't allow, and again, that's inside. That's not reality. Like, don't allow other people to hold you back from taking that first step. That's what I've noticed a lot too.
Yes, and with that, the culture here,
Yeah.
the goal is that comparison, take it out, and it's as a leader, that's our goal, to strive that everyone is welcome and
That's right.
you can accomplish anything if you put the work into it. But a lot of people outside that are seeing you try to make these choices, I'm gonna sign up and get run coach to do my first marathon or try to Boston qualify. Well, that's stupid. Or why are you macro counting? And why? Like, everyone has their opinion.
On everything.
So it's finding that, like, knowing who you are, and that this is when you walk into that, like, stop letting it, whatever it is holding you back, and you walk into it, just be confident and go all in.
Yeah.
And that's where the
so
true
good.
results come.
That's so good.
Yeah.
It's true. I mean, we all deal with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
And not even in the gym and the running setting. You have something that's been coming up, and I kind of shared it with our friends.
So I mean, it's out, but we this year I just kind of felt like it's time to write a book. Yeah, I felt it for a while.
We've talked about it.
And I actually just came from a guy that's helping me. So he's written several books, and he's kind of coaching me on this journey. And like today, I'm not as far along as I wanted to be on a certain like part of the book. And he just asked me, he goes, what's holding you back? That was his literal language just like an hour ago. And I said, man, I feel like I sound stupid. Right? And he said, those are like lies, and like, you can't believe that. If you believe that, you're never going to write it, and you're going to be, it's all of the thoughts are just going to stay in your head. And it was that moment. So we just literally, like, together wrote that part, and him helping me. And honestly, like, once you get it out of your mouth and out of your head, it's not stupid. It's actually really good. I mean, I'm writing it, so I hope it's really good.
Yeah.
But it's a sense of, I've allowed those voices to keep me paralyzed from moving forward. So, like, it's just.
And I've seen it. I mean, it's been years we've talked about you writing a book, and I'm like, you got to just do it. And it's cool to see it all. It's coming to fruition. Like, it's happening.
Yeah.
So proud of you. It's
Well,
awesome.
I mean, it's.
We'll see it at the end result.
Yeah,
I'm
we're
kidding.
at the baby
I'll see if
stages.
I'll be proud of you then.
Yeah, but it's going to be fun. I mean, I think the process, and also too, like, you already hit it, but I'll just echo it, like, from a non-fitness standpoint of realizing what's holding me back is, oh my goodness, this is not easy. This is going to be several months. And, like, you talk to people or you read people and they're like, oh, I just sat down and all the words just came and I love to write. That is not me. Like, I feel like writing a book is like giving birth. I've never given birth, but I feel like it's like, oh my gosh, this is so difficult.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just the time commitment, the knowing that this is going to be a long haul is honestly what's held me back in the past too. And then making every excuse, like, I'm too busy.
Right.
I have
That's
other
another
things
thing
to
we
do.
hear. Yeah, what holds you back? So, kind of recapping, we talked about what would hold us back is that fear and being intimidated or comparing ourselves to others and allowing, well, I'm not as good as her or as strong as him, and then why bother?
Yeah.
And allowing those lies, we're going to call it what that is.
Yeah, lies. Yeah.
Lies. That's not true. We all have value and worth, and it's finding our best versions of ourselves, and that's the goal.
That's so good.
And to be able to, and I've said this even with my marathoning, because I'll be running a marathon next week, and all the jitters and nerves, like, and I was trying to encourage myself, like, self-talk, like, okay, if you don't get a PR, are you going to be okay? And it's just finding that, yes, like I'm giving my best, and that's what should matter, not a number on board. So it's but being okay to step on that starting line, and it might be a fail, or it might be the best race I've done in a long time. But I'm not going to allow the fear of that to hold me back from at least trying.
You said something, let's just talk about that for a minute, like self-talk. There's a book that I'm kind of reading right now for just future messages about like change your thinking, change your life is the idea. You have no idea the power of turning those negative thoughts, just you speaking energy and positivity over you of like, no, like I'm not where I want to be, but like I'm somewhere and I can go make this happen. Those thoughts don't have control over you. You actually can change your attitude, but just changing the way you think about yourself, the way you think about others.
That is so.
Makes a huge difference.
It's funny you're saying that because like as a teacher, I'm music and PE teacher part-time, and seeing how kids start at such a young age that negative self-talk.
Sure.
And I even see it in our daughter. We did a 1 mile time trial, and like halfway through, she's shouting to me, "I can't do it, I can't." But I'm like, you can, and you will, and go. Yep. So it's just, and I was talking to the principal of the school. She comes and trains here, and she coaches the basketball girls. And she goes, we call it groaning. So if you're going to groan, you're going to do a lap, because we are going to speak life and truth. And if you believe that I can do it, it will happen. So it's like, I don't know if you're a parent listening or you're a teacher or a coach. Yeah. When you hear that negative self-talk, address it.
That's so good.
No, we don't speak that to ourselves. We speak life.
So to your point, people that say, well, I'm always going to be out of shape.
Well, you're speaking that to yourself.
I'm always going to be in debt. Okay. I'm always going to have a bad marriage. Oh, okay. Or you can flip it and start speaking positive and life into those situations. And it's amazing how quickly the attitude changes. It doesn't mean that it's going to be overnight. That this is the process that we're talking about. But you have to change your thinking to break through. I really believe that. So
good.
Some of those things that may be holding us back. Yeah, really, really good. And by the way, we're still discovering that together.
Yes.
In different areas of our life. On the journey.
Totally on the journey.
Right. So, you mentioned it. Let's just talk briefly about it, because a lot of people have questions about your running, particularly. The Mesa Marathon
next week,
coming up
next Saturday. Wow.
So we're a week away. How you feeling?
I'm feeling. Today was a really good long run. I needed that kind of boost of confidence.
Healthy, feeling great.
Yes, feeling tired, but that's the normal taper, tired, and crazies we all talk about. I mean,
you've been doing like 70 miles a week.
Yeah, I kind of had to go backtrack. I think this has been my longest build up I've ever done for a marathon. So 7 weeks of 70 miles. And I know that's not a lot to some people that run 80 to 100, but for my body.
And for your life.
And for my life, where I'm at,
But you've crushed it. I mean, you've done such a good job in the training cycle.
You're ready for it to be over. They do call it the marathon grumpies, and
it's so bad.
If we want to be really real, yes, I'm ready to.
Well, I mean, like, I always know, like, this is a stressful week because
it is.
You really want to do well.
Yes.
And we all want you to do well. And just there's so many things in a marathon, like, you can't control. Right? So, I mean, again, this goes back to the conversation. Like, change your thinking process about this, and it can change the outcome, literally, of just the week. And the things that you can't control, like weather and everything else, like, it is what it is at this point. But I've been hoping just for your sake, you've had. I mean,
I could go on this streak of rain every marathon.
Every race, training.
So I mean, it will be. Everyone's going to be like, "You are not running with me ever."
That's right. But right now, we're a week away. The weather looks.
I haven't looked. I'm not looking.
You're not looking? Okay.
I don't know. I ask everybody else, and they'll say the same thing. So we're kind of.
It's looking good.
Yes.
We'll see.
If it's cold like it's been, it actually will be nice.
Yeah. So. I mean, you've been feeling good. Training cycle's been really great.
I mean, ups and downs. I've had some like hamstring issues,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. Just kind of battling through it, doing all the things to try to. But this is the week I've been feeling the best. So everything seems to be really working.
That's
and
awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. So the goal is our next podcast that we'll do, we'll have like a recap, a debrief of how it went, what are some things that you learned,
Yes.
all that fun stuff.
And
It'll be
he's
fun.
not talking about it, but you are doing the half marathon next week. And
Yeah.
you've had the best training cycle you've ever had.
I have the best coach.
Oh, jeez. It has been awesome. You haven't had knee issues. We found the perfect
What I mean by
formula.
that, right, is like we found the perfect formula for me. I'm not running every day. We're like the tracks days, the workout days. I've hit all those paces.
And you're lifting heavy here. It's really
Yeah.
awesome.
I'm feeling the best I've felt in a long time when it comes to that. So we're excited.
So funny. Ashley, one of our amazing friends and clients that comes, her whole family, the whole family comes. She's like, I don't get it, because she's training for like a 10K and been running and lifting. And I do not build strength. I lose strength when I'm marathoning. Like the goal is different goals.
Yep.
And that's just how our bodies are. But you've been doing this half marathon training, lifting weights. She's like, it's not fair. I go, because we're not men. Just kidding. But it's just funny. It's awesome to see your hard work coming. Next week will be great.
It's been good. So
And we'll see a lot of friends that are visiting from
all the
state.
friends coming from Indiana. Can't wait to see you guys. It's going to be a lot of fun. You guys are trying to get out of the cold.
And we're like,
But here in Arizona, we're like in a very cold streak right now. So hopefully it warms up a little bit for you to enjoy
it should.
the weather and the desert and the trails and all that fun stuff.
Well, this has been a lot of fun.
Good conversation.
Yes.
Really difficult. I mean, because there always are things that are going to hold us back. But don't allow the thoughts, the negativity, the fear to win the day. Like, talk yourself out of that stuff. And you are way stronger than you think you are. You can do it. And where you are right now, regardless of your fitness level, regardless of spirituality, all that, like, change your thinking on all of those things. It'll change your life. And that's what we discovered here. And I'm telling you, like, I think the best is yet to come for a lot of people that needed to hear that today.
So good.
Everybody,
Thanks for listening.
keep coming back.
Yes. See you next time.